Assalamualaikum and greetings to Madam Shamila. So today our group would like to present our group assignment, which is developed country versus developing country. The country that we choose is South Korea and Eswatini. So my name is Nur Aina Najwa and my metric number is 261808. Firstly, I will present to you about the developed country, South Korea. So, the general background of South Korea. South Korea, the nation of East Asia, it is located in the southern part of the Korean Peninsula. So, there are many arguments about the status of South Korea, but based on the GDP that we can say the South Korea is a developed country. At 2019, the GDP per capita are recorded at $34,000, which is more than enough to fulfill the requirement of characteristic as a developed country. Since 1990s, South Korea economy increased remarkably, transformed itself from a poor agrarian society to one of the highly developed nation. So Korea being a phenomena in the entertainment sector, especially the Korean pop who are really famous worldwide. Economic growth was mainly affected by the growth of export industry and immigrants of the highly and skilled trained labor, which was supported by the government itself. Together, government and the owner or the leader devise the policy to target a particular sectors for growth, and this strategy for implemented in a series of economic development plans starting in the 1982. Light manufacturing and textiles were the first targeted industry, followed by such heavy sectors such as chemicals, iron and steels in the 1970s. Even later, the emphasis turned to sectors such as car, electronics and information technology are the high-tech that success by the South Korea economy. Next is the South Korea politics. South Korea is a democratic presidential parliamentary republic with a multi-party structure. The Economist Intelligence Unit ranked South Korea the 23rd most democratic nation in 2019. The constitution has undergone five substantial amendments since 1948, each signifying a new republic. Just like Malaysia, national government of South Korea also divided into three branches of power include legislative, judicial, also the executive. President who is leader of the state are being elected through the direct popular vote. The president is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Republic of Korea, also have a power of executive. After that, the president will appoint the prime minister. South Korea prime minister presides over the state's council of the chief minister as the head of government. Moon Jae-in becomes South Korea's 90th president on 9 July 2017, succeeding the acting president Hwang Kyo-an. Next, my friends Aida Hanani will continue the next part. Thank you.
I'm Aida Hanani binti Awaludin, will be presenting on part of time frame for South Korea. Unlike other countries affected by COVID-19, a nationwide lockdown has not been enforced by South Korea. On January 20, South Korea reported its first COVID-19 case and has since gained international praise for its response to the pandemic, which is focused on rigorous research, free medical care, and advanced technologies. GIS technologies and government-created applications were also used by South Korean officials to monitor the spread of the virus, allowing the nation to curb the spread of the infection before cases got out of control. Data from GPS monitoring of telephones and vehicles, credit card receipts, travel history, and CCTV footage has been used in Republic of Korea to identify high-priority cases and trace individuals infected. And the next one is latest news of South Korea. South Korea had election for the National Assembly in April, offering a strong indication of how to hold a secure election during a pandemic. The outcome was the largest turnout in nearly 30 years for the legislative election and a strong win for the Democratic Party of President Moon Jae-in. The elected Moon Jae-in administration is receiving a remarkable mandate to pursue its agenda for the next 2 years with its overwhelming win. Moon's ability to discern whether Korea's citizens back the ruling party on the basis of results or philosophy would now depend on its priority. Moon's effective crisis management of COVID-19 shows the lack of bureaucratic integrity under the Roh Moo-hyun administration. It's believed that the sweeping decision of Park can only come true if tangible results based on success rather than philosophy are guided by the Democratic Party. At this point, it will be appropriate to establish a new Korean conservation opposition that is unaffected by past political controversies that could only threaten the governing party with a pragmatic political agenda if it proves inept or reverts to the political patterns of self-dealing and corruption. Next, I will pass this presentation to my group member.
My name is Sharifah Nur Nabila binti Ahmad Nazam, metric number 265610. So next I'll proceed with the developing country, and we have chosen Eswatini for this part. So first of all, I will explain a bit about the background of this country. Eswatini was renamed from Swaziland in April 2018 by King Mswati III. He rebranded the country. The king declared that from now on, the nation, previously known as Swaziland, would be named Eswatini. A move critics said that was made without consultation, and one constitutional reform was required. In the late 19th century, the British guaranteed autonomy from Eswatini. Independence was granted in 1968. In 2006 later, a new constitution which included provisions for a more autonomous parliament and judiciary came into effect, but the legal status of political parties remains uncertain. Eswatini is one of the smallest countries in Africa at not more than 200 kilometers north to south and 130 kilometers east to west, but it is different from the comparison of the climate and topography, ranging from a dry and a hot grassland to a cold mountain high vale. The population consists mainly of Swazi ethnic people. Swazi is the predominant language. The nation and the Swazis took their names from Mswati II, the 19th century king, and the whose ruled the territory of Swazi was unified and expanded. The official name was changed from the Kingdom of Swaziland to the Kingdom of Eswatini in April 2018, reflecting the name widely used in Swazi. According to the 2017 census preliminary estimates, Swaziland has a population of 1,093,238. This effectively means that the population of Swaziland grew by 74,789 over a 10-year period from 2007 to 2017. It reflects a 0.7% average growth rate. Next part is socio-economic of Eswatini. Eswatini is a small landlocked kingdom bordered in the north, west and south by the Republic of South Africa and in the east of Mozambique. For the majority of its exports and imports, Eswatini relies on South Africa. The currency of Eswatini is pegged to the South African rand, effectively surrendering the monetary policy of Eswatini to South Africa. It is a lower middle income country. Eswatini National Development Plan, which will expire in 2022, prioritize increased infrastructure, producing agriculture, and diversify of the economy in order to minimize poverty rate and the spending of government. In 1980s and 1990s, the manufacturing sector but in the last decade, development has grown very little, though sugar production and exports were reduced by a drought in 2015 and 2016. Sugar and soft drink concentrate are the biggest foreign exchange earners. Persistent problems include overgrazing, soil erosion, drought, and floods. In recent years, mining has decreased. Eswatini is marked by very high income inequality, with a gross national income (GNI) per capita of USD 2,233 in 2011. The country is listed as a country of lower middle income. Nevertheless, the number of the deprived in over the years, the country has remained reasonably powerful. Poverty in Eswatini stems primarily high income distribution gaps. For example, although per capita were over USD 2000 in 2011, more than 50% in 2010 of the total income went to the richest of 20% of the population. The poorest, 20%, by comparison, accounted for just 4% of the overall income. Similarly, non-monetary poverty indicators suggest that there has been a substantial increase in people's living condition has been made of the people in Eswatini. The ability to drink water supplies in general has increased over the years. For polity and administration of Eswatini, the Tengku base of government is democratic and participatory. The structure emphasizes the transition, though individual merit is the basis for election and appointment to public office from the central government to Tengku of state power. At the grassroots level, Tengku facilitates community development, coordinates and supports good relations which are working at the level of Tengku in government and non-governmental organizations. In order to ensure that all national policies are responsive to the needs of the people, they further to provide a link between communities and government along with other development agents. It has been established to create peace between departments and offering services inside the include a long process of it. Next part is issues of Eswatini. A tiny, mostly Eswatini, a small landlocked country surrounded by South Africa and Mozambique, suffers from severe poverty and highest prevalence of HIV and AIDS worldwide. An economy that is poor and declining, high unemployment, rapid population growth as well as unequal resource allocation all combined to exacerbate already persistent poverty and food insecurity, especially in rural areas.
So I will going for my part in the ruling country, which is Eswatini, and my name is Fatin Ida Azhara binti Muhammad Tajuddin. My metric number is 261879. So I will going to proceed my part for the issues, time frame, and also the latest news of Eswatini. So first, I will going to describe more about the issues of Eswatini, which is Eswatini, one of the country that suffer from extreme poverty because Eswatini is less developed country and also poor country. And Eswatini also has many social problem and belief problem of the country that make the rate of the HIV and AIDS is highest because the population of the country not believe for the medicine and not going to the clinic for the treatment because they believe for the God and also seek for the enemies witches. Okay, so next is Eswatini highest in unemployment and also rapid population growth is one of the main of problem in the country. So I will go into the time frame. Before this, the name of Eswatini is Swaziland, and after 5 decades, King of the Eswatini, which is King Mswati III, changed the name from Swaziland to Eswatini. In 2018, the king declared the name of the Eswatini is changed, and the king believed that after she changed the name, the country become one of country has a good name, and also the people life can improve. Beside that, the politic and also the social and economic can be improved. So the last one is the latest issues or news in Eswatini, which is the economic growth of Eswatini is slowly decreased because of the problem in management and also administration. Not forget about the pandemic COVID-19 affect all of country, including the Eswatini. It made the economic growth become slowly down, and the economic sector cannot be run well. That's all from me. Thank you.